Welcome to the season 3 of the Radiant You podcast. And I am your host, Lissa Cole. And I could not be more thrilled to kick off this season with someone so very special. She is a compassionate therapist and part of the team at LifeSpring. She's a mom of 3 young kids and a devoted wife, a student currently working toward her sex therapy certification, and a beautiful soul juggling all the real life roles. I know so many of you will feel seen, inspired, and comforted by this conversation. So we're going to just dive right in. So welcome, Alyson. I am just thrilled that you said yes.
I'm excited to be here.
Very cool. All right. So we're going to get started by getting a sense of how you're basically holding all the plates and holding all the pieces. So you definitely wear a lot of hats, and actually more hats to come in some other endeavors that you might be doing. Mom, wife, therapist, student, friend, sister, oh my, just to name a few, right? So how do you describe yourself these days?
So it's a really interesting question. I think I used to describe myself by my roles, but I've kind of switched that mindset in the past year. So I would say I describe myself as Alyson, and roles are just small aspects of who I am. So instead of fitting myself to roles, I choose to fit the roles to who I am.
Absolutely. Oh, I love it. And that just so resonates with all of the, what I believe to be true for the Radiant You. We are not defined by roles, but you do hold so many, but really it's holding the pieces, right? Holding those, spinning the plates, that kind of thing. And so often we do try to narrow ourselves, to just one thing or one identity. But the truth is, just like you said, you're Alyson.
Yeah.
And, that we can do many things at once as Alyson, as Lissa,
Yeah.
So what does radiance mean to you in this particular season of life?
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I think it's just like spreading joy. Joy's kind of become my word. And so to be radiant means I'm just imparting joy on the people that I'm around. Even if it's small things, just trying to be joyful about that.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And I really love asking this particular question because radiance looks different for each of us. But right now in this season, it truly is joy. I feel that from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you have that inner light,
Thank you.
So, wow. Yes, absolutely. So what has surprised you most about how you've grown through the different hats, the different plates, the motherhood, marriage, career? What insight have you been able to just kind of witness within yourself?
Yeah. Oh gosh, so much has been learned in the past year. I think one of the biggest things I have realized is like I get to create this life, right? Like there are some things that are outside of my control, but like I get to intentionally wake up every day and create a life that that speaks to me and brings me joy, and that I just genuinely like enjoy living. And that's the part of it that's within my control.
Yes. Oh, wow. That is powerful. Oh, that's so powerful. And honestly, that has kind of that's a big growth for you, but it has come in some real quiet behind the scenes moments. And that kind of happens to all of us at some point if we're really aware, would you say?
Absolutely. I think I got to a point where it just wasn't working. Like what I was attempting to do wasn't working. And I hit this crossroad of you can keep this up and life will be what it is. And that's I mean, that, okay. Or you can start making intentional choices every day
Yeah.
um, to create something that brings you joy, and that will have an impact on other people because you are now happy, and that will radiate into
Absolutely.
other people's lives. And so it did happen. It happened in loud moments. It happened in quiet moments. It happened um, in all different ways, and it had to be intentional. I mean, that's the biggest piece of it, is it really had to be intentional.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So even in all of that and the busyness, what is bringing you joy right now?
Um, Discovering myself
Ah,
is probably like one of the biggest things. I think when you wake up and you're like, okay, what am I going to do today that brings me joy? And you have to intentionally look for it. You're not just like waiting for it to happen. Um, Through that, there has been so much self-discovery because there are things that I thought brought me joy in the past that don't bring me joy now. So I've had to let those things go. This version of myself that I had been living. Um, but it's so many little things. Like it's not, I mean, there are big things. Like my kids are great. Kids bring joy, right?
yeah.
They bring other things, but they also bring joy. Um, but for me, it's like choosing to buy myself fresh flowers from the store for no intentional reason other than I love having them on my counter. Um, Randomly texting someone that I haven't talked to in a while just to say hi. Um, Intentionally checking in with friends that I know are going through a hard time, or stopping to look at a plant in my yard, or, and those all seem so small, but when you know you're choosing that for yourself,
Mhm.
it's huge.
Absolutely. You're being very mindful
Yes.
of those moments,
Yeah.
and choosing
Yes.
those moments in all of that,
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. So it kind of moves us into, the balancing it all in the messy middle of it, right? That real life juggling act, because that mindfulness, those moments, they they really make up, who we are really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what helps you, we talked about not really having the roles or being identified by those roles, but we have to be real that we do have certain roles and certain responsibilities, right? So
Mhm.
what helps you juggle? What helps you juggle the many responsibilities, that you hold without losing yourself in the process?
Yeah. I think getting to a place of acceptance that um, it's never going to be equal.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
um, I will never have equal time at work. I will, and then my family, and then me time. Like, it's never going to be equal, and that's okay. Um, there are going to be seasons of my life where work and school consume more
mhm,
than home. And then I just bring in people to support the home life. There's going to be times where my kids in my home life get the bulk of everything and I step back from work and school. Um, so again, this idea of like choosing just keeps coming up again. Like I have to
mhm.
choose what the priority is that day, or that week or the month. And I also choose um, what aligns with my values and my goals and at the
Mm,
moment. And those change as well. Like sometimes I am investing 100% into my kids and my family and what that looks like. But then there are times where I choose my career. Like right now is a season of career and school for me. So,
mhm.
um, but I also know that that's temporary. And
Right.
um, I have goals I'm trying to meet professionally. And so I'm going to put my time into that, knowing that that creates space later on for me to be able to like
It
invest
really
more
does.
there.
It's like you building that for
Yes,
you.
building. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Mm. It actually reminds me that, showing up for ourselves isn't selfish either. It's necessary. And that's what you're doing by making those choices,
Yes.
very
100%.
intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And that was a learn that was really tough for me to learn. I think we are socialized to um, believe that choosing yourself is selfish. And
Absolutely.
especially as mothers, right? Like it should always be sacrificed for the kids. So for me to make decisions like, hey, I'm going to do school right now. And I know I have 3 young kids, but like, I want to do this. Felt selfish at first, but then I realized like my kids get to see me do this. Like my kids get to learn from me about being intentional and choosing myself and pursuing goals in the
Absolutely.
process. And that doesn't mean I love them any less or that I am selfish. It just means like I get to choose myself. Right?
Yes. 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 So do you ever feel guilty for focusing on one or the other,
Oh, of
or
course.
one over the other?
Of
So
course.
how do you, don't we all, right? We do. But how do you choose to work through that?
I think, and this is going to sound very counselor-y of me, but I do a lot of like inner work,
That's okay.
right? I do a lot of inner work on like where is this guilt coming from? Because a lot of times it's like scripted messages that I've heard my whole life, and like checking in, like, do I actually believe where this guilt is coming from, or is this something that I was raised with, or something that I've been taught by like culture? And then sometimes if it's really bad and I do feel like, hey, you've kind of been slacking on the kids a little bit, then I'll be intentional about like doing things to spend more time with them or invest in them. Like I think there's always room to wiggle and shift when needed.
Agreed. Yeah, I love that. And thank you for almost, like giving ourselves permission for being able to shift, right?
Mhm.
And kind of naming that. I mean, I think that guilt is it's just such a quiet companion for women at times.
Yes.
We walk with it. We walk.
Yes.
So, has your idea of balance kind of changed over the years? And what does balance actually look like for you now?
Yeah, it has. For me, balance used to be do it all. Uh,
Oh, man.
um, which was delusional.
Yeah.
Because we can do it
Yeah.
all.
True.
But yeah, balance used to be like, how can I effectively do it all and still be happy about it? That
Mhm.
that was a big one. I have fully embraced that I can in no way, shape, or form do it all the time.
Amen.
Um, and so balance is now, how do I attend to the responsibilities in my life and not lose myself in the process? How do I um, meet the needs of people and myself, but do it in a way that I still enjoy? And
Yeah.
that, and sometimes that means I have dishes in the sink for 3 days, but instead I read a good book and I went for a walk with my kids. Um, and sometimes that means I have boxes that need to be unpacked for weeks, or um, showers go longer than they should. I don't know if I should admit to that, but like it means letting go of all these expectations of what should be done every day
Right.
and leaning into, obviously there are needs that need to be done every day, um,
Mhm.
but not everything has to be done every day.
Mm, absolutely. Absolutely. So when do you know that it's time to kind of pull back and regroup or take that longer shower? And how do you know when it's time for you?
I quit enjoying things that I would normally enjoy.
Okay.
Uh, I love my job. I love the work I do. But when
Yes.
I'm finding myself wanting to like cancel on my clients and not show up, that's a really big indicator that like, hey,
Mm,
something's off. Um, when I am starting to view things very negatively, um, not that there's anything wrong with some pessimism, but when it's like day in, day out,
right.
I find myself like with more
Ugh.
anxiety, just kind of like, ugh, like
Mhm.
that is a really good indicator, because I am creating a life and being very intentional and choosing things that um, bring me joy and make me happy. When I start to lose that feeling, that's a really big indicator that like, hey, something's off. we got to
Yeah,
step back and adjust this.
absolutely. Step back, regroup, pause,
Yeah.
be able to just, I mean, really look at that pause as almost a gift. Like, oh,
Yep.
wow, okay, the awareness is there, but what do I do with that now?
Yep.
You're feeling it, but I absolutely have to pause here. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
absolutely. So, and it's actually, at times I really feel that that's giving ourselves permission, again, that whole permission thing, but giving ourselves permission to really breathe,
Yes.
take a moment and figure out what it is that you truly need.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving into some boundaries, and I know you and I have talked about this a little bit. Where have you been able to, set some of those boundaries, or what boundaries or non-negotiables have you been able to um, help to keep you centered? What would you
Yeah.
say are some of those things that really help you to stay super centered?
Yeah. Hmm. I think one of the biggest is doing things not to please other people.
Yeah.
I naturally inclined to be a people pleaser. um,
Mhm.
so I have that's a difficult boundary to
Yeah.
place, but I definitely if I can stick to the boundary of like, what is my intention for doing this? Like, do I genuinely want to do this for someone, or am I doing this because I'm seeking validation, or I'm seeking
Mhm.
someone's approval, or I'm afraid they'll get mad at me? I've worked really hard at tuning into that.
Yeah.
Because if I'm doing something with ulterior motives, maybe not be the best word choice, but if I'm doing something and it's not because I'm wanting to do it, like there isn't a piece of me that truly wants to do it, um, then I'm just tired and annoyed that I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. On a more surface level, non-negotiable, I have to go to the gym. Like, like that sounds so like cliche, but that is just such a, when I am not going to the gym consistently, um, my mood and everything is off. And it's not, I don't, it's just something about it. And so that is a boundary and a non-negotiable I've placed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, wow. I love that. I love that. And I love that you've been able to do that for yourself. That is a non-negotiable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also like what you said about setting intentions. And,
Mhm.
I'm intentional about, whatever you are doing for those non-negotiables, those boundaries.
Yeah.
I think that's so important for our overall well-being and,
Yeah.
our overall wellness, for sure. Who or what gives you permission to rest or say, not today?
Me.
Yes.
Um, it wasn't always that way.
Right.
I looked to other people to tell me that I could take rest. So
Mhm.
um, I would look to my husband for permission for rest. I would look to my kids' happiness. I would look to success in my job, my to-do list, if I could
Ooh,
take rest.
checking things off.
Um, and then I realized that like they aren't in tune with my body. They aren't in tune with my desires and what I need. I am the only one that is aware of that.
Mhm.
Um, Also, like pe- people are human. Not everyone's going to grant you rest when you need it.
That's
You
right.
know, it's
That's
just
right.
it's the way it is. I'm not holding anything against people, but like that's just what it is. So if anyone is going to give you permission to rest, it has to be yourself.
It has to be you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, good stuff. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to move into identity and growth and becoming more you. And I have been blessed to be able to see this happen with you and the decisions that you've made for you. And it actually brings me tears because I love it when I get to witness that in women, other women that see it and then act upon it, that awareness, and then they act upon it. And this has been something that I've been able to witness you becoming you. becoming more you.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, it just warms my heart. And I know that it's been hard. But let's talk about the version of you that is still becoming.
Mhm.
So you're pursuing your sex therapy certification while raising your young kids and working as a clinician. What really has inspired that journey?
Yeah. I think it was multifaceted. Um, it was always something that was like in the back of my head, an area of therapy that I felt like was very needed and that I was very interested in.
Mhm.
Um, did not feel like I was in a place or motivated or maybe confident. Well, maybe we can use the word confident enough um, to do that. But then through work with clients, um, stuff just kept coming up right in the room.
Mhm.
Um, and I just saw the need even more than I already knew that there was a need. It is something I'm passionate about because of my own journey and the work I've done for myself and the freedom I found in that. So um, I think as I was just like doing this work of choosing myself and choosing joy and being intentional, I just had this moment of like, no, this is what I want. And I could wait to do it, but what's the why? Why wait?
Right.
Why wait? This is a need for people. This is something I'm excited about. This is something I'm passionate about. So let's just do it now.
Yeah,
While I'm in the process of like rebuilding everything and choosing
absolutely.
myself and learning myself, like I might as well put this into place now.
Yeah. Oh, I love hearing your why. Love it. And it is a passion, and I see that passion. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's always layered, right? There's always things that are meaningful, but at different levels and
Yeah.
different layers, for
Yeah.
sure. So how do your roles as mom and therapist influence each other for you right now?
Um, I think being a therapist forces me to be more in tune with who
Mm,
I am as a mom and who my kids are. Um, I I see I see the stuff kids struggle with, right? Like,
mm,
um, and I see the stuff, I hear the stuff they share in the counseling room with me. And so that just like, I hear that and I know we're like, don't bring work home, but I bring it home and I see my kids and I'm just like, I got to be more intentional, right? Like, this is their mental health and their emotional health and it matters. And I'm
mm.
equipped to help them. Um, No, I'm not their therapist by any means. I never want to be their therapist.
Yeah.
um, but I'm aware of the struggles they could be facing and how best can I help maneuver them through it.
Absolutely. And what that does too is it allows you to really help them build that foundation.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is that is, I think that that's where that intersection of home life and professional life, can really be so rich, is that we have the knowledge and the awareness to help build the foundation
yeah,
in our own home,
yeah,
and it's just so real.
yeah,
It just, yeah, bringing it home from the office. We're not really supposed to do that, right? But it is, how can you not with
right.
some situations, and knowing that, whew, okay, that's real, but so is this,
Yep,
and it's foundation building,
yep,
you know.
totally.
So, what parts of you feel like you're still in that becoming or still unfolding?
Yeah, a lot of it. I I feel confident in the general direction of where I'm going. I feel confident in the process. But I think there's still a whole lot that's still unraveling. Um, I've learned a few small things here or there, but I think there's a whole lot more that I still have to figure out, which is exciting. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
We're
weird to be
always
doing that.
evolving.
Oh, we're always evolving.
Always.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm doing like this huge, like, this probably like should have happened in my 20s, and here I am in my 30s. Like, I don't know who I am. But
But honestly, that becoming never stops. I mean,
oh, it
it's
doesn't.
all part of that growth for us, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah. I think also just figuring out who I want to be. So there's a big part of me that who is figuring out who I want to be, as opposed to like who I thought I should be.
Oh,
Removing some of those expectations that were placed on me, or that I put on myself. I'm not
right.
gonna put blame on everyone else, but I'm really stepping into like who I am, embracing that.
Mm. Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that. So, have you ever experienced any like identity shifts as you've evolved in your work and your family life? Sometimes there's just some commonalities with women across the board, but I wonder if there's any that you really noticed for you.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of my beginning adult years, um, again, we're going to get back to like the expectations thing, but like thinking I needed to be a certain type of wife, a certain type of mom, um, have a certain type of personality,
Mm.
and very quickly realized that forcing myself into that box was making me miserable.
Oh, gosh.
Um, and I wasn't thriving. I wasn't happy. I was happy on the outside, but like, I just wasn't thriving. And so I think that letting go of those expectations,
Mm-hmm.
realizing like,
Mm-hmm.
I get to decide what kind of mom I'm going to be. I can be any type of wife I want to be. I can be any type of 35-year-old woman I want to be.
Yes.
So yes, huge identity shift. Really let go of everything that I had built my life upon in terms of who I am. Tore it all apart to rebuild back up.
Yeah. Powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. So as you continue your work and continue your growth, what does it look like for you to hold space for others while still growing yourself?
This has been hard, because as you grow and change as a person, it doesn't mean that the people in your life have to.
Right.
Um, and that can be hard because that
Mhm.
means relationships change and dynamics change. And you don't have to drag those people with you, but you also have to step back and say, okay, then
Mhm.
this relationship might change. And that's okay that the
Mhm.
relationship changes.
Yes.
But you also can't be like mad at them for not coming along, right? Like, they entered your life when you were in a different stage
Mhm.
and a different type of person. And so when you do change and evolve, it's essentially saying like, okay, this is who I am now. I'd love to have you continue on this journey with me, but I also respect if it's not working,
That's
and that's
right.
okay. But
Yes.
it's hard. I mean, these are a lot of times it's like relationships with people that you've had in your life for so long.
Mhm.
And so there's this pressure to like, okay, should I continue some of the old ways that I was living in order to keep this person in my life because I
Right.
love them, I care about them, and I want them? And then also balancing that with like, no, I need to be authentic to myself and
Yes.
growing.
Yes, absolutely. It's such a delicate balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Especially, you care so deeply
Yep.
for your people
Yeah.
and for yourself,
Yeah.
not losing sight of your own path is so important,
Mm-hmm.
and who you are becoming. Oh, Okay, I am excited about this next little part. It's really focusing on your sex therapy.
Mhm.
And so I want to go deeper into your work and just really that calling, because really that's what it was that kind of
Yep.
shifted you. It was a calling. I mean, you saw it, you witnessed it, but really a calling around sex therapy. So what drew you really, I mean, we talked a little bit about it, but what drew you to the field of sex therapy and what have you learned so far that has surprised you?
Um, I think I witnessed myself um, and many other women with very skewed views of sex
Mhm.
um, for whatever reason. Like we all get our messages from
Right,
somewhere. We all
right.
have different experiences, but um, and I just felt like it didn't have to be that way. And so that was really the pull. Um,
Fascinating.
Now, obviously, sex therapy isn't just for women; like it's for men too. But like specifically, my initial calling to it was um, there is a lack of education and there's a lack of understanding around sexual health and sexuality with women, and it becomes such a point of distress for
Mm,
people. And it doesn't
mhm,
have to be that way if there are more
mhm.
people out there educating and sharing information. It's also a taboo subject. So
Oh,
um,
yeah.
I like to make things awkward. So it's perfect. Um,
I love
what was
it.
the other part of the question? Surprise me.
Yeah. So, what has surprised you so far?
Um, how wide and deep the subject actually is and the work that can be
Mhm.
done within it. I think I had a little bit of an understanding when I started the coursework, but as I've been in it and having conversations and um, doing the reading, like it's just so multifaceted and it can
Mhm.
touch so many people's lives in so many different ways.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, it's just so fair. And I know like this much of what you're learning and it just is so fascinating to me. Oh my goodness, it really is. And so much of that work is the unlearning, right? So much is
Oh my gosh, yes.
the right. And so here you are educating, but also kind of pulling back the many layers of what they have previously known to be
Mhm.
true for themselves, for, our society, whatever. And so again, that unlearning can also be around shame too. I mean, I just did a little bit of reading before I got on, and it really is, there's so much that shame connected to
Yeah,
so many things that are under that umbrella of sex therapy, you know?
yeah,
Oh my gosh. And so what's cool is by you doing what you are doing, you are actually helping women and men rewrite their narrative
yes.
and rewrite the story. It doesn't have to be the way that they thought it was their
Yep,
truth, right? And it can I just love that.
me too. It's
Oh,
so exciting to just help
fascinating.
people see that there's a different way. Like that, hey, the way that you were taught about this isn't accurate. Like
Yes.
it doesn't have to be the way you thought it is or the way you've experienced. And there's such freedom in that as well.
Mm-hmm. So it kind of leads me into, why do you think it's important for women, especially moms, wives, and professionals, to have safe, shame-free spaces to talk about that intimacy and sexuality?
Okay, here's my soapbox. No,
Yay.
I think um it's that shame piece, right?
Yeah.
Um, for a really long time it was a taboo subject. We just didn't talk
Yeah.
about it. Most of us didn't have good sex education. Um, most of us were raised with a general concept that like sex isn't the greatest thing.
Right.
There was always this like, don't do it. it leads to some bad things. Oh, but now like you're married, so now it's good. And women in general tend to have more shame applied to it. So there's the purity aspect. There's our bodies in general, like, are viewed sexually, but we're not supposed to talk about them, like how they actually work and function, right? Like, because that takes away the sexiness of it all.
Right.
So, and then also we're supposed to be pure, but then all of a sudden we're supposed to be like feisty in bed, and know all of this stuff and be able to respond in a certain way. And there's just so much shame. And if you enjoy it, then like you can get a name applied to you, or there's so much shame. And I think the more that we can get together and just talk about it and be real about it, and like, man, this happens to me, does this happen to you? Like,
right.
Normalizing things, validating feelings, helping each other understand like how our bodies work, what the stages of things, like as we age, like, I mean, just all of it.
All of it.
Talked about. The more we talk about it,
absolutely,
the more we remove the shame.
Absolutely. Shining the light, right? Yep. Shining the light on that, which has been so much, just covered up, and closed for so long. And we definitely need more conversations. We need more education. And I think that's empowering when we know more. Like, okay, then that becomes sexy. You're right. I mean, to know that my body can function this way or that way, and oh no, we're going to talk about it now, and yet it's okay. That means it's not sexy. Well, no, it is so sexy when you know what you love, or what it feels right, or whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, it's being able to talk about it and being able to be vulnerable with it, and having that safe space with you or with any other sex therapist. It is so important.
Absolutely.
So important. So that also leads me to something that I feel is very important too, because with many of my clients, I see premenopausal, menopausal, I see married couples. I see, so many that are struggling, and so sometimes it does lead back to the sexual wellness, and so how, in your opinion, how does sexual wellness really connect to overall mental, emotional, and relational health?
Yeah, I mean, it is just as much an aspect of our health as all of those other areas. I think sometimes we try, we put it in its own box, like that our sexuality and our sexual health is like somehow separate from all of those other things. But it's not. Like, it's still our body. It's still our brain is our biggest sex organ.
Wow, right?
Like,
huge connection. Huge.
Of course, like, our mental health is going to affect our sexual health, and our sexual health is going to affect our mental health. There's no way to actually separate them. But again, I think because it's a topic that's not talked about as much, we just separate it, and we're like, okay, well, it really can't be affecting anything. But if a couple is having desire discrepancy, that has to be talked about, because I guarantee you that's affecting communication and conflict and how they enjoy intimacy. If a woman feels like something's wrong with her body because she's not enjoying sex, she's going to think something's wrong with her.
Right.
So we're talking about self-esteem and confidence, right? If a man is having issues, he also is going to think something's wrong with him.
That's right.
And all of that can lead to depression and anxiety. Like, it's all so connected.
Absolutely. Deep connection there.
Deep, very deep.
Absolutely. Yeah. So many people just don't realize how intertwined it really is, Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. So, what are some common challenges you hope to help women navigate and men through sex therapy?
I think the shame piece is huge. That's a
Mhm.
big one. Having a better understanding of who they are and what they want. Gaining the confidence to ask for those things, getting a better understanding of those things. Um, Helping them have conversations with their partner
Mhm.
about like what works, what doesn't work, what's normal, what's not normal. Like, um, there's a trauma piece, obviously. People come in with trauma all the time and it affects them
Yeah.
and it has an impact on their sex life. Um, Also, just embracing who they are, right?
Yes.
Like, it's okay to not want it and it's okay to want it a lot.
Yes.
And one's not right over the other. So it's about finding what works for you, what genuinely works for you, and what you genuinely want, and stepping into that with confidence.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm hoping that this is validating for our listeners too, who might be facing some of those challenges.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So let me ask, what possibilities do you see opening up for your clients and yourself as you move into this new chapter?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things we talk about is like just providing permission for
Mm,
clients, like permission to
I
talk
love
about it.
that.
A lot of times they come in and they're like, "Can I talk about this?" Um,
Yeah.
and I can speak from experience. If the topic comes up, if a client starts to talk about sex and they're very reserved, and I look at them and I say, "Did you know that I'm a sex therapist?" And like you can see the like relief on
Right.
them that like, hey, this is a safe person that I can actually talk to about this.
Yes.
Uh, so I think that's huge. I think it
Yes.
opens so much room for deeper conversation.
Absolutely. So much room for healing.
Yes. Yeah.
So much room for healing, and just that, again, like that education piece is
Mhm.
also can be very healing. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, oh, good. Okay. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Of course.
I'm so excited about where, for you and where this is going to go for you. There is such a need, such a need. So let's talk now about real life radiance and that imperfect, authentic light. Okay.
Hmm.
So radiance isn't just about glow, right?
Right.
It's about the grit. It's about, continuously having that light shining. And so, how do you keep that light shining even when you're feeling stretched so thin?
Hmm. I think there's an aspect of grace there. Um,
Mm, mm,
Sometimes it's letting myself have a bad day, um, and not putting the pressure on to always be joyful. I know I talked a lot about like intentionally choosing that, but also like
sure.
recognizing like sometimes you are stretched too thin,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
that's just the reality. Um,
Absolutely.
and then the other side is I try to keep the like the core memory of what it feels like to be like authentically happy.
Mm.
And, um, and I say authentically because we can fake it, right? Like
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I tell everyone I'm doing great and put a smile on my face and right.
Yep.
I am talking about the true authentic, like I am genuinely enjoying this life.
Yeah.
So I keep that core memory feeling. And so
Mm,
on the days where I'm stretched thin, the days where it is a struggle,
mm.
that is what I'm pulling up. So
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
I'm going to feel it that day, but I'm going to keep pushing through because I know I want to get back to that because I
Yes.
like that for myself.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. And that is so relatable. That is
Mhm.
so relatable. And honestly, sometimes just showing up for ourselves and showing up just period can
Yep.
be so radiant. I mean,
Absolutely.
it is so
Yeah.
radiant. And being able to say, okay, I might not be feeling that right at this moment, but I know I felt it. That's a core memory. And I love how you used that. Oh, that's good. Good stuff. Okay. Are there little daily things that you do to keep your spirit alive and well, even on the hard days? And I know that we've talked a little bit about that, but small things add up. So what would you say, are those things that you just daily small things?
Yeah. So like I said, the gym is a big one.
Yes.
I don't want to like harp on nutrition, but nutrition is big for me.
Yeah.
If I am not intentional about what I'm putting in my body, I feel it
Yeah.
just across the
Yeah.
board. Um,
Absolutely.
I try to go for a walk every day because the sunshine is wonderful. Um, and there's just something like regulating about
Yeah.
getting out and moving your body.
Mhm.
Read something that's not work related, even if
Yes.
it's for like 10 minutes.
Yes.
Um, hug my kids and smell their hair
Yes.
if they've like showered.
I know, right? I know. There is
Um,
something to that outside smell too, though.
yes,
You know, there is something to that. I just so
the
love
kids,
that.
yeah.
Yes. I love it.
And it just comes back to like the choosing to find
Yeah.
things.
The little things. Yeah, absolutely. I love
And
that you mentioned the
yeah,
walk
yeah,
with
the
your
walk
kids.
is huge. The other thing I do is there are some smaller things that I used to let like ruin my day. Like small things
Mhm.
would happen. So I try to be intentional of like looking at them differently,
Good.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the bird outside my window at the office.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I want you to share a little bit about that. Okay. Because I just love that. Okay. It's a bird. It's a bird. So I have a little note here that says, all of our daily love, our self-love, our little things that try and keep our spirit alive, they don't have to be fancy, just consistent. Well, that damn bird is so consistent.
Every day he shows up and he just, it's a red-winged blackbird and he loves my window and he calls to me. Um, and my clients have started to actually point out that when he is in the bush outside of the window, he is in my direction. Like
Oh my
I
gosh,
can't
he's
always
looking
see
at
him, but
you.
he's literally looking at me. Um, so I don't know why he's obsessed with me. I could let it ruin my day, but I kind of like him. He's
Yeah,
mine now. So
yeah. And haven't you named him?
Marty McFly.
I just love that. I just love that. I mean, when you first were telling us, we were just all blown away. Like, what? What is this thing? Right? It's just so
It's been like
fascinating.
2 months and
Yes.
he's still there.
Yes.
He's mine.
There is something about, yeah, definitely. Marty assures. Yes. Oh, I love that. I just love that. Okay, let me just look here. I don't want to miss anything, but I also know that, oh my gosh, we can just get, just off on other things. So being able to reset ourselves is just really important and find our way back to ourself when things are a little scattered or even full, feeling worn out. So would you say that, even Marty, from nature, that is a really cool way to almost like reset, like being able to go on that walk, smell
Yes.
your beautiful children, do what you need to do that's going to just kind of reset you in that moment. Can you think of anything else that helps to really reset?
Um, I have started really leaning into breath work lately.
Oh, good.
I used to not be the biggest fan of it, which I don't know if that makes me a bad counselor or what, but
No.
I don't think I was intentional enough about it. But I have really um intentionally breathing in a different pattern than what you're used to is such a good nervous system reset.
It
Um,
really is.
so that's been huge for me.
Mhm.
when I just find myself in that place where, you start to feel it, right? Like it's building up in your body, the pressure's on, like your heart starts to
Mhm.
like, and you just get hit with that like weight. Like
Yes,
that is such a good
absolutely.
sign that like, okay, we need a reset right now.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like. Usually breathing because it's the easiest thing to do.
And I
Um,
love that you said breathing, because that really prompted something in me, and reminding myself too that when I was going through some pelvic floor therapy,
Mhm.
there were some really great takeaways for me at that time. And that was being able to use that, the breathing
Yes.
with that therapy,
Yep.
and be able to, it was just like a refocus, like,
Yep.
oh, you mean I've been breathing wrong all these times? No, it's just paying attention
Yeah.
at different times, different types of breathing, different types of breath work. And maybe that's what's so cool for you now
Mhm.
is, back whenever you started and you didn't really necessarily like the breath work, it's different. It morphs into
Yeah.
different things for us. And that can be really a good takeaway for our listeners too, that, it helps us to kind of anchor
Yeah.
in this mess at
Yeah.
times, the
Yeah.
mess. And we love the mess, but it happens. Life is messy,
Absolutely.
but it's a good
Yeah.
takeaway, isn't it?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. What are
I
some
think
other
when
things that help anchor you?
um trying to think. I think when I notice that I'm on autopilot,
Oh,
uh, I spent a lot of years like very out of tune with myself, uh,
mm,
and with what was happening. I was just doing the things, right?
just
Like just get the things done, just do the things. Um, and so when I sense that, when I realize that I'm not really like engaged with what's happening, I'm just
mm,
running errands and running here and there and like doing dishes, like
right.
um that is a moment where I stop myself and like intentionally engage with being mindful of what I'm doing in that moment. So that way I can reconnect with
Mhm,
what's happening in my life.
mhm.
And sometimes that, I mean, it looks different. Sometimes it's just like feeling something, like doing something sensory.
Yes.
I'm very big at like somatic stuff and like feeling it.
Mhm.
Or sometimes it's like going from like my head to my toes and like recognizing tension. Like, where am I holding tension in this moment? Because you are not okay. Things are
Yes.
right now, and you need to like unclench something.
And there are many things that we can unclench.
um,
Yes.
but I think the word coming up for me over is just like being mindful, like
Yeah.
being intentional and mindful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything I'm doing
Well, I
is
love what you said, like you said, everything that you're doing, like even doing the dishes, are we feeling that
yes,
water, right? Are we feeling just standing there and doing that?
yeah,
I mean, balance on one foot. What does
yep,
that feel? Balance, whatever. And what it does is it just allows you
yep,
to anchor.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow. Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, so we're going to close, but I also have my Radiant 5, my lightning round that we're going to close with.
Okay.
But I want us to kind of come up with some fun. Well, the fun is later, but this is all fun. Anyways, some final words of encouragement. So what's one truth that you've learned about yourself that you wish other women knew too?
You get to create a life that you
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yes.
You get to.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and I love that we get to. I love that. That is one of my most favorite phrases is we get to do this. We get to be a therapist. We get to
Yes.
be a mama. We get to be,
Yeah.
for me, a grandma. And so, yeah, and often we think that, it ends up being just harder and harder and harder. And believe it or not, we're stronger than we think, you know,
Yeah.
and we get to.
We get to.
Yeah. What would you say to someone trying to do it all and feeling like they're just not enough?
Yeah. Um, I actually had someone say this to me a few years ago, and it has stuck.
Mm,
They basically looked at me and said, Allison, and being enough is not something you get to. It's not something to
mm.
chase. It's not a destination. You were born enough.
Oh my gosh. Oh
And
my
that like
gosh.
has stuck with me
Mm.
so intensely.
That really will hit home to so many. Oh my goodness, yes. I wish I had known that in my 20s.
Yeah. Oh, me
I
too.
really do.
I yeah. I always thought if I just kept doing all of the things
Yeah,
and did them well, then at
yeah,
some point I would hit this I'm enough, right? Um, and I
right.
never did. And so when that individual said that to me, it clicked. Like
Yeah,
I don't ever feel like enough because I'm chasing something that doesn't exist. Like I'm chasing an endpoint that doesn't exist because I already am. Like
yes. Oh my
I have to.
God. Ooh, ooh, that's good. Whew. Okay. The Radiant Five. Are you
Okay,
ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to get my paper in front of me for this one too. Radiant Five. So say whatever one word or phrase comes up first.
Huh?
All right. One daily habit you swear by for feeling your most radiant self.
Waking up and choosing myself.
Mm. Oh, love it. Okay. A book, podcast, or resource that has deeply impacted you.
Come as You Are by Emily Nagoski.
Yes. What? Yes. What's your go-to mantra or affirmation?
You've always been enough.
Mm. You've always been enough. One thing you wish more women knew about their overall wellness and glow.
It's it's about small choices.
Oh, yeah, yeah. In one sentence, what does it mean to live radiantly?
Share your joy with other people.
Mm, beautiful. A bonus fun question. What what is your guilty pleasure that you have absolutely no intention of giving up?
Reading smutty romance books.
Oh, yeah. I love it. And we all need to do that once in a while,
I
right?
agree.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Alyson, for
Well, thank you so
being
much.
being a part of this and allowing me to just pick your brain a little bit, but also just walk alongside you and your beautiful, radiant self. We are just so excited that you joined me today and just really sharing from your heart. And I know that this truly was authentic. And I just love it. So your honesty and insight are going to really resonate with so many listeners out there who are navigating some very similar paths. And just for all of you that are listening, if you have loved this conversation, please be sure to follow and share it. The Radiant You is something that I have just put my heart and soul into, and being able to share just so much with all of you, and I'm just so grateful. So stay tuned for some more real radiant stories all season long. I'm very excited about future guests and just some little solo episodes as well. But for now, I just thank you again, Alyson, for being here, and go and shine your light and be the radiant you. Take care.